The issue I think that gets mixed up here is that there are many people who support someplace like Poland Spring, for instance, as a clean, good place to work, good salaries and all that sort of thing. But, part of this is about process and not about right now, but the future. And what it means to be a multinational and doing a free trade agreement, and how the power can be just totally, taken away, evaporate, before your eyes. I think it's more worries about the future and impacts and all that. Isn't it conceivable that there could be a way for corporations to work better with the communities, and so that there isn't this fear and anger and uproar? We both attended that talk by Mr. Briggs
yes.
on the law and all this sort of stuff, and he suggested the possibility of agreeing to have any problems adjudicated in Maine courts, for instance.
Representative Boland, I thank you for your comments and your questions. The process by which corporations go and seek to work in a community differ from company to company, and I thoroughly respect the heartfelt testimony of the proponents. They bring to the debate a lot of passion and a lot of articulate commentary. One thing that corporations, about all they can offer is fact about this is what we're going to do, this is what we plan to do. How it is. How they interact with different communities depends upon the local officials. I was not involved down in Shapley or Newfield, but we did talk and we did listen to Peter Riggs. Trade agreements have come up. I mean, Maine is not alone in having to deal with trade regulations. We do have the Citizen Trade Policy Commission, but I think if you heard Mr. Riggs also say that, if Maine follows its administrative procedures process and gives due notice, opportunity to be heard by the various interested parties, then their laws and regulations should be well protected against any potential challenges. And I don't believe there have been that many challenges. Granted, I think the state should take a look at what is going on with a greater interest in the global economy. I don't think it was right for China to seek to intercede in legislation pending in Vermont, as Mr. Riggs stated, but that, I guess, occurred once. But I think with regard to Maine operating its Citizen Trade Policy Commission, I think they're doing a good job looking very thoroughly at it. You asked specifically about corporations agreeing about jurisdiction under Maine courts. That's probably a debate for another day. I don't know what corporations we represent might be willing to do. For right now, certainly Poland Spring has submitted, even though it's owned by a multinational corporation, has submitted to state regulation, to local regulation, and has not asserted any rights that they may or may not have under trade agreements. I just don't, that hasn't even entered into any discussions, Representative Boland. So I personally, I think trade agreements in some instances are good. I think Representative Michaud is taking a good stance in assuring that there's better review processes. Yeah, I've talked with him a little about it. I'm not sure exactly what he's aiming at, but they have to be looked at carefully. And what do they do to our own processes here in this state. But we are in a global economy, and we need to trade globally. So I don't know if that's a sufficient answer for you, Representative Boland, but I would like to see people come together and be able to move forward. And Fryeburg was a difficult situation. Initially, Poland Spring had a permit that was appealed, and the law court sent the permit back to the town. And in the time the litigation took place to go up to the law court and then came back to Fryeburg, the personnel on the board changed. So they then removed the permit, changed the permit. So that then sent the permit back to court, and eventually, more recently, the court found that they should not have changed the permit in the way that they did. So, Nestle was, protecting its initial permit, and the court found that was accurate. And it is unfortunate that litigation costs money, but that's part of our democratic process, is to be able to go to court, whether you're an individual or whether you're a corporation.
Further questions for Mr. Delegate?